Electricast.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Welcome to Her Extraordinary Life by Design, where we celebrate women who are shaping their lives one extraordinary day at a time. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, self-care coach for women who are ready to make self-care a priority to support them in life and business. Every week, I'll be speaking with inspiring women from various walks of life who will share their personal journeys and will discover how they have fearlessly carved their own paths as business owners, passionately pursuing their dreams and creating a meaningful impact on their communities. So let's get started. You've probably heard the term woman of influence thrown around, maybe in articles or on social media, even in social circles. It might sound like a title reserved for those with a massive platform, a best-selling book, or a CEO badge. But what if I told you that being a woman of influence is something every single one of us can step into? It's not about fame or titles. It's about how we show up in our daily lives, the way we inspire others, and the legacy we create through our actions. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Leslie's Corner Monthly Musings here on Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, and today, as part of our Women of Influence series, I want to dive into what it means to be a woman of influence, not in some far-off way, but in ways that are grounded, practical, and achievable for all of us. So what I want to do in this episode is explore how it's not only possible, but achievable for you to step into your own influence. We'll talk about what it truly means to lead with authenticity, embrace your unique strengths, and create a lasting impact in every area of your life. First, let's start by redefining what influence really means beyond all the titles. When most people think about influence, they often tie it to a title like being a CEO, a thought leader, or someone with a massive following. But influence isn't tied to a title or position. It's about the impact that you have on others in your everyday life. It's in the moments when you show kindness, like helping a friend navigate a tough decision, or when you offer support by simply listening without judgment, or the giving of advice when someone needs to vent, or maybe when you inspire someone to take action despite their fears, like encouraging a colleague to pursue a new opportunity they've been hesitant about and afraid they're not competent or qualified enough because, well, they're afraid they're going to fail, afraid that they're going to be seen as imposter. And that's pretty scary. Even when you're not consciously trying to lead, there's so many ways that you can step into that. But also, being a woman of influence, being a leader, isn't just about paving the way or always being the one out in front. It's also about empowering others to step into their own leadership roles. It's about encouraging those around you to shine, supporting their growth, and even being open to learning from the very people you inspire. You know, sometimes the most impactful women of influence who are leaders are the ones who know when to follow by creating that space for others to take the lead and thrive. There was a time in my life when I realized that my actions were influencing others positively, even though I didn't see myself as a leader at the time. This was revealed to me in my family dynamic. My younger brother, who unfortunately is no longer with us, used to come to me for advice and guidance whenever he was ready to make a big decision that had the potential to change his life in a profound way. To be honest and transparent, at first, I felt a little uncomfortable because I wasn't always confident that I could give him the support and guidance he was looking for, And so in the beginning, I used to be vague in my responses, and I was always trying to get him to figure it out on his own. However, over time, I realized that what he was presenting to me was a gift in that he was telling me, rather showing me, that he valued my opinion and he trusted that no matter what, that I would have an answer that would set him in the right direction. And when I realized that, it made me feel really good and honored to be thought of as someone that could be counted on. It also revealed to me that once I started to pay attention, that others in my family dynamic, my friend circles, and even work colleagues in my previous corporate positions would come to me and tell me things that possibly they had never told anyone else before. They would open up and share with me their fears and their hopes and their dreams and would ask me questions, all with that hopeful look in their eyes that I would be able to help steer them in the direction that they wanted to go. This revelation of my gift for listening and holding space where people felt seen, heard, and ultimately understood was a moment that reminded me that influence isn't about having all the answers or being in the spotlight. It's about how we show up and how we make others feel and the example that we're setting through our actions. So take a moment and think about your own life. Can you recall a moment when your words or your actions impacted someone in a meaningful way? Maybe it was offering advice to a friend or encouraging a work colleague, maybe even offering your shoulder to lean on for your sister or your brother, helping them to step through their fears, or even just leading by example in a challenging situation. These moments, big or small, are where your influence truly shines, which brings me to my next point, that leadership isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity and showing up as your true self. But let's clarify what authenticity truly means in the context of leadership, especially as a woman of influence. Authenticity is not an excuse for insensitivity. We often hear people say, well, that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired, as a way of justifying behavior that might hurt or alienate others. Being authentically you doesn't mean disregarding the feelings, perspectives, or well-being of those around you. Not at all. True authenticity is rooted in self-awareness, kindness, and a willingness to grow, not in rigidly clinging to habits or attitudes that might harm others. Leadership, especially influential leadership, requires us to embody authenticity in a way that elevates those we lead, not diminish them. For instance, if someone speaks their mind freely but without regard for how their words impact others, they're not being authentically kind or compassionate. They're being authentically rude. Authentic leadership involves aligning your actions and words with the values of empathy, respect, and thoughtfulness. There are certain responsibilities of leadership, right? Leadership comes with a profound responsibility. Your words, actions, your tone, and even your energy have the power to influence others, sometimes in ways you may not immediately realize. Whether you're leading a team, mentoring someone, or simply being observed by others, your choices can have ripple effects. This is why emotional intelligence and emotional resilience are so vital. As a coach, mentor, and speaker, I've seen firsthand how my actions can inspire or dishearten others. It's one of the reasons I pursued certification in emotional intelligence. I believe that understanding our own emotions and how they influence our behavior is critical to how we show up in the world. Because emotional intelligence allows us to, number one, recognize our emotional triggers so we don't react impulsively. Number two, it helps us to manage our emotions in a way that aligns with our values. Number three, it also helps us to empathize with emotions of others, creating deeper, more meaningful connections. And then finally, number four, it helps us to respond thoughtfully to situations rather than reacting out of stress, frustration, or fear. When we neglect these aspects, we risk unintentionally causing harm. For example, think of a leader who speaks harshly in a moment of frustration and how that might discourage someone who looks up to them. On the other hand, a leader who approaches a situation with compassion and understanding can empower someone to grow and thrive. Now, emotional resilience is another critical aspect of authentic leadership. I truly believe that because resilience doesn't just mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It means developing the capacity to navigate our challenges, our setbacks, and our conflicts with grace and perseverance. And as women of influence, we must learn to model resilience not as perfection, but as persistence in the face of difficulty. It's about showing others that it's okay to struggle, to feel the feelings and to process them, and that growth often comes through adversity. For me, this understanding came through my journey of becoming a coach. I had to learn how to manage my emotions, especially in situations where I felt overwhelmed or doubted myself. And truth be told, I also had to learn that I had to allow my clients the space to get angry so that they could process and release their emotions so that they could have their transformational moments without feeling badly. In fact, my very first client had a moment in one of our coaching sessions where I noticed that something was off and she seemed upset. And so I asked her what was wrong. And then I told her no matter what, she could say how she felt and that I wasn't going to judge her for it. And when she revealed to me that she'd been talking about what she was going through and dealing with it for 10 years and felt like she was just wasting her time talking about her challenges again, I asked her this question. I asked her, in all of that time that you've been talking about all of this that we've been talking about, has anything changed? Have you moved past any of it? And she told me no. And I responded by saying, that's why we're doing this now. That's why we're doing this work, because I don't want you to spend another 10 years with nothing changing for the better. It was so important for me to let her know that no matter what, I had her back and her best interests at heart and really truly wanted her to succeed. By embracing emotional resilience, I've been able to show up consistently for my clients in this way, as well as my friends, family, or work colleagues who look to me for guidance. A safe space to share their fears, their hopes, their dreams, and desires without judgment, but always with an encouraging mindset. Now, here's the most beautiful thing about leadership that helps one lean into being a woman of influence. Your vulnerabilities become your greatest strengths. At least that is what I've found to be true for me. Authenticity doesn't mean pretending to have it all figured out. In fact, it means being real about your journey, about your struggles, about the lessons learned, even the hard ones that you wished hadn't happened, but that somehow provided the deepest transformation once you went through them and allowed yourself to take the lessons and use them to fuel your journey. And growth, always looking for ways to improve and grow as a human, using all of that, everything that you've learned, to connect with others. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite others to do the same because vulnerability builds trust, and trust is the foundation of influence. For example, sharing a story about a time that you failed, but you got back up can inspire others to face their own challenges with courage. Because courage is hard to come by, but you've shown resilience by moving through it despite your fear can inspire someone else to say, you know what, I'm scared too, but if she can do it, so can I. Being open about your journey, about your emotions and the experiences that you went through as you navigated a challenge shows that you're human and relatable, which fosters connection. At the same time, authenticity means celebrating your unique strengths. Each of us has qualities that makes us powerful leaders in our own way. Maybe you're an exceptional listener, a creative thinker, or someone who can bring calm to chaos. Whatever your strengths are, lean into them and use them as tools for leadership and influence, which leads me to my next thought on this subject. The immense power of connection and collaboration in amplifying your ability to lead and inspire others. As women of influence, our strength isn't just in what we do individually, it's in how we show up for and with others. Leadership isn't a solo journey. It thrives in the connections we create, the relationships we nurture, and the communities we build. I believe that not only is community a self-care tool where you have people in your circle who get you, where you don't feel like you're on an island all by yourself, but you have that real support with others where you can get support as well as give support. I believe that community aspect is also the foundation of influence. It's where ideas are born, where support systems thrive, and where collective strength is far greater than the sum of its parts. True leadership recognizes that growth, whether personal or professional, doesn't happen in isolation. We grow best when we're surrounded by others who challenge us, support us, and inspire us to reach new heights. In fact, I believe that we're stronger together when we uplift, encourage, support, and inspire each other to live our best lives. Being a part of community doesn't just provide opportunities to lead, it offers opportunities to listen, to learn, and to collaborate. Leadership is a two-way street. It's about giving and receiving, offering guidance while being open to others' perspectives. It's through this exchange that we not only amplify our impact, but we also grow into the best versions of ourselves, which I believe helps us to feel in alignment with our purpose and the lives we want to lead. In today's world, there's a lot of pressure to compete, especially in spaces where women are carving out their paths. But the truth is, collaboration is far more powerful than competition. When as women, we come together to share our knowledge, support each other's goals, and create opportunities for one another, the possibilities are endless. And collaboration isn't just about working together. It's about lifting each other up. It's about saying, your success doesn't diminish mine. It strengthens ours. This shift from competition to collaboration creates a ripple effect where the success of one becomes the success of many. So when you embrace the mantra of collaboration over competition, that is what it means. Think about it. When we collaborate, we combine strengths, we combine perspectives, and we combine resources. We create something far greater than what any one of us could achieve alone. This is the power of community. It allows us to amplify each other's voices, expand our reach, and create lasting change, becoming women of influence together. I also want you to think about the power of connection as a collaborative force, because connection is at the heart of collaboration. When we build genuine relationships based on trust, respect, and shared values, we create a foundation for collaboration that is both meaningful and impactful, not just in our lives, but as a whole together. Connection is what allows us to move beyond surface level interactions and into deeper partnerships that inspire growth and innovation. I look at it as doing life together and making a lasting impact on our communities together. It's about recognizing the unique gifts and talents of others and finding ways to align them with our own. And when we connect with others authentically, we create a space where everyone can thrive. So why does this matter for women of influence? Because I believe that for women stepping into their roles as leaders and influencers, that embracing collaboration over competition is essential to learning and growing and leaning into being a better version of ourselves every day. It's a mindset shift that not only benefits us as individuals, but it also strengthens the communities that we're part of. It's about us each recognizing that there is enough success, that there are enough opportunities, and that there is enough space for everyone. As a woman of influence, your ability to inspire isn't just about what you achieve, it's about how you empower others around you and inspiring them to go after what they want alongside you as you support each other. When you create connections, you nurture relationships and embrace collaboration, you build a legacy of leadership that extends far beyond yourself. So what does that look like in action? Well, that brings me to my next point, building confidence as you step into influence. For many women, stepping into leadership and embracing their influence can feel both exciting and sometimes daunting. There's often a narrative we carry, whether from societal expectations, past experiences, or even self-doubt, that tells us that we're not enough in some way, not experienced enough, not accomplished enough, or simply not ready. I know this because I felt all of these things in my journey. I know firsthand how these feelings can create invisible barriers that hold us back from stepping fully into our potential as leaders and women of influence. In fact, one of the biggest challenges I faced was imposter syndrome, that nagging voice that questions whether we truly deserve to be in the room, let alone leading it. This self-doubt doesn't discriminate. It can affect us all at stages of our journey throughout our lifetime as we strive for bigger and better, whether we're just starting out or we're already leading successful businesses or initiatives. There's also the challenge of balancing leadership with other roles in life, whether that's as mom or a partner, a caregiver, a mentor, or a friend. As women, we often carry the weight of multiple responsibilities, and the fear of falling short in one area can keep us from pursuing leadership opportunities altogether. On top of this, societal pressures can add another layer of complexity. Being a woman, we're often expected to lead in a way that is strong, but not too strong, assertive, but not intimidating, kind, but not perceived as weak. And navigating these conflicting expectations can make stepping into influence feel like walking a tightrope. So, how do we move through these challenges? How do we build confidence and quiet that inner critic? Well, first, we reframe self-doubt as growth. Self-doubt doesn't mean you're not capable, that you're not good enough. It means that you're growing. I know that feels odd to hear, but I'm sure you've heard someone say before that when you start feeling uncomfortable, when you're stretching yourself, or what I like to call stretching your edges, that means you're on another level of growth. So when you start feeling uncertain, that's the time to remind yourself that every leader, no matter how accomplished they are, at some point in their journey, they have felt this way too. And as life goes on, when new things reveal themselves, and another level of stretching and growing happens, that can start the whole process again. It's in those moments that we can lean on our communities, our trusted circle, and get support when we can't do it on our own. And by the way, you don't have to do it alone because, again, we were not born to go through life alone. That's why we're drawn to others, to relationships. So instead of letting self-doubt or uncertainty stop you, use it as fuel to learn, to grow, and to step into new opportunities. Confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that you can figure things out along the way. And again, that we don't have to do life alone and that we can ask for help when we need it. It's okay. I want you to be able to give yourself permission to know that it's okay to ask for help, especially when you're doubting yourself and your abilities. The next one is learn to celebrate your wins, including the small ones. Confidence is built step by step, right? So instead of waiting for a big milestone to celebrate, acknowledge the small wins along the way. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, something you would never have done before, but you felt confident in the moment and you felt good afterwards about doing it. And to go a step further, what you shared sparked curiosity and conversation. Or maybe you set a boundary around your time and energy, or you took the first step towards a new goal. Each small action reinforces the belief that you are capable and deserving of your role. Third, seek out supportive communities. Like I have been saying, you don't have to do life alone. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you, and remind you of your potential. Whether that's a mentor, a coach, a group of like-minded women, having a support system can make all the difference in silencing self-doubt and staying focused on your goals. And number 4, learn to talk back to your inner critic and shift your inner narrative. Yes, you heard me right. Your inner critic doesn't have the final say. Start paying attention to the stories you tell yourself about your abilities. Are they based on fact or fear? Is the danger real and something that you should avoid at all costs? Or is it perceived danger based on insecurities or fears of not being enough, qualified enough, or ready enough? Talk back to your inner critic and empower your inner hero. Replace your negative self-talk with affirmations that reflect your worth and potential. Instead of saying, I'm not ready, try saying, I'm learning and growing every day, and I have something valuable to offer. You don't have to have everything figured out to make an impact, to become a woman of influence. Start small, take one step, let momentum build from there, and lean on your community when you need that added boost of confidence. Because remember, if you're afraid to take action and you're waiting for courage, remember this. Confidence comes from taking action first, and then you feel empowered and encouraged to take action again. And also not worrying about it being perfect. Like some women I know, they often say, take that messy action and learn and grow from it. So what does stepping into influence look like in real life? Well, I can tell you that I don't believe that it has to be about grand gestures or monumental achievements. I believe it's about showing up consistently, and authentically, and doing that in ways that align with your values and in alignment with your purpose. Say yes to opportunities, whether it's speaking on a panel, leading a project, or mentoring someone. Say yes to opportunities that allow you to step into a leadership role, even if it feels a little scary. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Practice visible leadership and start leading in small, everyday ways. This could be sharing your ideas in a meeting, sparking curiosity and conversation, or it could be organizing a community initiative, or simply modeling the behavior you want to see in others, leading by example. Leadership and influence are as much about how you show up as it is about what you say and what you do. And finally, pay it forward. Use your influence to support others. This could mean mentoring someone. It could be you amplifying someone else's voice or creating opportunities for others to succeed. Influence grows when it's shared, which brings me to my final point, living your legacy. When we think about influence, we often focus on the here and the now, how we show up, lead, and inspire in our day-to-day lives. But true influence extends far beyond the present. It's about the legacy you're creating through your actions, the things you say and do, your values, and the impact you leave behind. Living your legacy doesn't mean waiting until the end of your life to reflect back on your contributions. It's about intentionally building a life each day that reflects your values, nurtures meaningful relationships, and uplifts others along the way. Your legacy isn't just the big accomplishments or milestones. It's in the everyday ways that you make a difference. So what does living your legacy look like? Living your legacy begins with being clear about what matters most to you, what values you want to embody, and the impact you want to have on the people around you. Your legacy could be you raising children who feel seen, heard, and valued. It could be mentoring someone and sharing in their journey, seeing them achieve their own success. It could be you creating a work environment where others feel supported and empowered. And it could be building a community where collaboration and kindness thrive. Every choice you make, every word you speak, and every action you take contributes to the legacy you're building. It's in how you treat others, how you rise after setbacks, and how you show up even when no one is watching. The way you lead today has the potential of a ripple effect that can extend far beyond the present moment. When you lead with kindness, authenticity, and courage, you inspire others to do the same. Your influence multiplies as those around you carry forward the lessons they've learned from your example. But living your legacy also requires humility. It means being willing to grow, adapt, and acknowledge when you've made mistakes. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. When you lead with integrity and a commitment to doing what's right, you create a lasting impact that others will remember and build upon. You know, as women, we often underestimate the influence we have in the spaces we occupy, whether it's at work, in our communities, or within our own families. Influence starts with small intentional actions, and it grows through authenticity and connection. And when you step into your unique strengths and lead with purpose, you're not only shaping your own extraordinary life, but you're also inspiring others to do the same for themselves. So as you listen in today, I want to encourage you to step into your role as a leader with intention and integrity. Honor the responsibility that comes with influence. And remember that being authentic doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real. Lead with kindness, compassion, and empathy. Be willing to grow and adapt. And don't be afraid to embrace your vulnerabilities as part of your strength. Reflect on your actions, words, and choices and how they have the potential to impact those around you. Ask yourself, am I showing up in a way that empowers and uplifts others? If the answer is no, that's okay. That's just an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Because the truth is, leadership and being a woman of influence isn't about always getting it right. It's about showing up, learning, and striving to make a positive difference. Thanks for tuning in today. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep designing your extraordinary life one day at a time. Thank you for joining me on Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I hope you've been inspired and empowered by the incredible stories shared on this show. If you enjoyed this episode and the conversations we've had, I would greatly appreciate if you could take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback and support mean the world to me, and it will help others discover the podcast and join our empowering community. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Together, we can continue to learn from these amazing women, uncover their extraordinary journeys, and be motivated to create our own lives by design. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, stay empowered and keep shaping your extraordinary life one day at a time.
Have you ever wondered what actually happens in Congress every day? Stay informed on Capitol Hill's daily happenings with a concise, factual summary of the Senate and House of Representatives' activities from the previous session, free from bias, on the Congressional Record Daily Digest podcast. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and discover the process from the heart of U.S. politics. The Congressional Record Daily Digest, an Electricast production.
Electricast.
Hi everyone, I'm Geraldine Glass, a leader in the field of music as medicine, and I'm excited to share with you my newest release of healing sound, Pentatonic Visions, with Chris Scholler and Electricast Records. Immerse yourself in ethereal realms where the harmonies of nature, tribal rhythms, and soundscapes blend with the crystal singing bowls. It's out now, streaming on all platforms.
Electricast.